We are getting an Obi Wan Kenobi live-action TV series on Disney+.
That's very exciting.
This is the only thing that I've ever wanted. Also, people could leave a like on this video. That would be absolutely fantastic. We'd never forget it.
We'd do a flip in your honor.
We would.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about the timeline of Obi Wan Kenobi's exile on Tatooine.
Oh, so after the events of Revenge of the Sith,
That's
what
right.
he got up to. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, I'm excited to hear about this.
The timeline, I'm sure you're familiar with this. It's before Battle of Yavin, after Battle of Yavin. So we're going to follow that, essentially.
Okay, cool.
We kick off at the end of Revenge of the Sith. The last time we saw Obi-Wan in live action, he hands off baby Luke Skywalker to the Lars family. Little did everybody know that they'd all age horribly. Joel Edgerton to some other guy. So he just heads off into the Jundland Wastes to live.
Do I know what that is?
It's just the desert.
Okay.
It's where his hut is.
So the whole thing.
No, it's a specific area. Of the
Okay,
desert.
right.
It's neither here nor there. So in the first few years, there's a couple of things that he did.
Does he fight any giant bees? That's a reference to a video we did a long time ago.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
He avoids the caves.
Okay.
But yeah, in the first year, he visited the grave of Shmi Skywalker, who I'm sure you're familiar with.
Is Anakin's mother?
That's right. And he commiserated for what happened to Anakin, but also...
Somewhat sarcastically. Sorry.
But also, wouldn't he be like, I'm sorry that Qui-Gon stole your son, or at least coerced you into it, and then died, and then I had to train him, and I kind of blew it. But also, he was kind of a bad bloke, and then I cut his legs and arm off and left him in a lava pit.
Yeah, I mean, at least I tried.
Yeah.
Like, look what I'm working with.
Yeah.
Your lame-ass son. He's got bad genes in him. Whose fault's that, Shmi?
And the other thing is, he should apologize for none of the Jedi coming back to rescue her, because she was a known slave.
Yeah,
And Anakin
right?
every day was probably like, I miss my mother, the slave.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep.
Could you maybe kill Wingsy Snoutor, the disgusting junk shop owner who's never done a nice thing in his entire life and is a slave owner? Could you maybe kill him and rescue her and put her on one of your interstellar spaceships and get her out of there? Nah.
We want you to put on this visor and block the blast from this little round ball. Anyway, he spends a lot of time meditating. That's what he's doing there. He has visions of the past, and he's visited by Qui-Gon's spirit and being like, don't worry about it. You tried.
When you say visions of the past, do you mean memories?
Yeah, like memories. No, but it's more vivid if
Oh,
you've
it's
got
more
the
vivid.
Force.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
You couldn't
Yeah.
possibly comprehend.
Oh my god. Yeah, and I can lucid dream where I imagine I'm flying. You probably can't do that, but okay, because I got the Force.
But yeah, he does spend a lot of his time just meditating and kind of reflecting on his life. He had a pretty cushy life back on, he probably had a little apartment and everything.
That's probably true.
He takes on the name Ben, which actually is used as an alias in the Clone Wars episode Deception,
Okay.
though he keeps his last name, Kenobi. I mean, how many Kenobis are there in the universe? One, as far as we know.
Yep.
This is where we get into the Star Wars comics. These comics, I feel, were testing the ground for what they could do for Obi-Wan. 3 of them are part of the main Star Wars comic line. Starts with Star Wars number 7. Luke actually finds the Journal of Obi-Wan, and he's like, what's this guy been up to? This one's set 8 years after Return of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, right. So Luke hasn't met Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, when he's reading it, this is after Obi-Wan's death. So he's in his X-Wing, and he's like, I've got nothing to do on this X-Wing.
Right.
There's no in-flight entertainment, so I'm bringing this book.
I can just watch the little map move a
this
certain
dot.
number of parsecs an hour or a certain number of kilometers per parsec. I don't know.
These comics are pretty great in general. This one starts with, there's a drought on Tatooine.
Okay.
But like for real. So
Not just the general drought.
Not just the general drought, yeah. So the moisture farmers are getting very little moisture from their farms, right? Jabba's
If
gangsters...
only we'd farmed literally anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe a real thing that people can eat.
Sure. Jabba's gangsters are stealing all the water from all the farmers. And Obi-Wan isn't doing anything about it. He's saying like, the hardest thing about being a Jedi is like not being a Jedi.
Sounds like cowardice to me.
Yeah,
All right.
sure. But he can't come out of hiding because the reason he's on Tatooine is to just watch Luke. Because Owen Lars won't let him train. He's like, this baby that you gave us, even though you gave it to us,
We're setting the
we're
rules
calling
here.
the shots, yeah. And
I'm not putting a laser sword in this baby's hands. Again, coward. Absolute coward.
Absolute coward, yeah. And also he mentions that he hasn't used a lightsaber in years.
What? But he's so skillful when we see him do it that time.
Oh, when he fights
You
Darth
hope.
Vader? Yeah.
Clunk.
Yeah.
Clunk.
Clack. I'm tired. I'm just going to put my arms down.
Yeah.
Anyways, what he's doing though is leading the pirates away from the Lars homestead using mind tricks. So they've never been affected by this. So they don't even know that he's helping. Also, when he's at the market, he decides to like jam all their guns at once so they can't like...
She's using a lot of skills that
She's
he
a lot
did
of skills.
not employ in any of the movies, but I like it.
Some of, yeah. And it's also mentioned that he's met Jabba the Hutt.
Did he say this is not the moisture you're looking for?
It's pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting though. So he's met Jabba the Hutt, but we don't know when that happened. So maybe that's something they'll integrate into the series, because the series is supposed to be set around this time, about 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, which is also around the time of Solo.
Do you think maybe they were the best of friends?
They might have been friends. So 8-year-old Luke is trying to steal some water back from the pirates, and Obi-Wan saves him by like knocking them out and using the Force to like throw them into the desert and whatever. And they're like, what is it? Is it a ghost? Who's attacking us? And then at the end, a comic ends with him igniting his lightsaber and it's like, well, if Luke could show courage, I could also show courage by hiding for another 11 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look at me wave me sword about.
That's right. Years later, he's watching Luke pilot. He's like, this guy's a pretty good pilot, like his
little
dad.
land speeder.
Yeah, he's little. No, it's like the big, it's like Y-shaped.
Oh, the Y-shaped wing thing.
Skyhopper. It's crashed. To repair it for Luke, Obi-Wan takes a job to protect Jawas from sand people. He gets paid and he buys the parts and sends them to Luke to be like, now you can repair your thing. Oh, by the way, it's a year later, not years later.
Okay.
And Lars, though, is like, here's your box of crap. Don't get involved with my family, even though you gave us this kid. Stay out of it. We don't want you, mate. But around this time, Jabba the Hutt hires a bounty hunter called Black Chrysanthemum, basically a big black Wookiee, right?
Black Kazakhstan.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Jabba wants him to find this guy who beat up his crew.
Sure.
And the last thing they kind of told him before he fed them to the Rancor was like, we're attacked in the bloody desert. We don't know who it was. But it turns out that attack that happened, where he beat up all those guys with the Force, it was like 100 meters from the Lars homestead, or however many parsecs that may be. Is it a fraction of a parsec?
It's probably like 8 parsecs.
How many parsecs do you reckon it would take to walk those parsecs to get
like
to
8 parsecs.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right. Owen Lars is kidnapped by this bounty hunter, and he's rescued by Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan's all rusty. Because even to climb up this mountain to like confront him, he's like, I'm really out of breath. I'm not.
I'm a bit puffed.
But he doesn't want to admit it.
But I don't want to admit it.
But he realizes that even though he's rusty, he can still do flips and use the Force, and he has a lightsaber, so he wins.
Did you see all those flips, Owen?
I mean, I'm old, but
I could still do a
still
flip.
do a flip. And then in Star Wars 28, he meets some dude in a town who's got a circle on his head. Who fucking cares? Anyway, 2 years before...
I mean, probably the guy with the circle on his head cares. Everybody's somebody, James.
Not this guy.
All right, then.
2 years before A New Hope, Battle of Yavin.
Oh, yes.
This is in Star Wars Rebels. Ezra from Rebels meets up with Obi Wan Kenobi.
And the band Better Than Ezra.
Correct. And he's like, you're in danger. Darth Maul's here to kill you because Darth Maul still wants revenge. He's got robot legs. He's back.
This is Robot Legs Darth Maul.
Robot Legs Darth Maul.
Here we go. Things are getting interesting now.
And Obi-Wan's like...
Robot legs, you say?
But Obi-Wan's like, don't even stress. I got this. It's fine.
I've still got skills.
Flips and such.
Flips and things.
Yeah. Darth Maul realizes that Obi-Wan's there to protect somebody, in particular Luke. So Obi-Wan's like, well, I got to kill this guy now, don't I? I got to be killing this guy. So they try a couple of fighting stances. I don't know if you've seen this footage.
It's a shorter fight than you'd expect, right?
I think it's really well done. The stance that he ends up going with is Qui-Gon's stance that he used against Darth Maul.
Back in the day.
Some Phantom Menaces later,
yes.
whatever. And Darth Maul then goes in to use the same trick to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi the same way he did Qui-Gon Jinn, but he just cuts through him and it's done. It's like a couple of swipes and then he kills him. And then Darth Maul dies in his arms and they're mates or something now. And he's like, are we mates? Like, yeah, I guess. But they're not mates, really.
No.
But he wanted to know...
We're not really mates. But now you're dead.
It says something like, do you believe this kid that you're looking after is the new chosen one? He's like, yeah, probably.
Is he?
No.
Okay, then.
Well, there's some debate about who is the real chosen one. Because it's probably still Anakin, because he technically does bring balance to the Force, doesn't he?
You know what?
I mean, eventually.
This saga's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Maybe decide on one and tell us who it is.
Sure.
You know?
Anyway, the last time he's mentioned canonically at this point in time, Jimmy Smits is like, I got a mate on Tatooine.
Jimmy Smits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right, yes. Okay.
The actor Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's an episode of Law and Order.
Senator Organa.
Yeah. Do you remember at the end of Rogue One where he's like, I'm going to go see my friend, the Jedi?
Yes, that's right.
Little do we know. No, we don't. We do know that it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Very nice.
That's basically the adventures of Obi-Wan Kenobi in this time period. Do you think we're going to be getting some Darth Maul? Do you think we're going to be getting off the desert planet? Do you think we're going to be getting some Darth Vader?
That's a good question. I mean, look, the fans are a big fan of A, Darth Maul the character, and B, Ray Park who plays Darth Maul.
Yeah.
So this is something that the fans, you especially, has been wanting for a long time.
Yes.
One would hope it's a good show, but it's also going to be a bit of fan service.
Yeah.
So why not bring in another fan favorite character? Why not bring in a Darth Maul?
I think it's kind of a shame that they've killed Darth Maul. Like, we know what point he dies.
Yeah,
so when he
right.
does show up, you kind of know what way it's going to go.
Exactly.
I think we talked about when Solo came out that maybe it'd be interesting to see Obi-Wan go off planet and destroy his criminal empire. Because there is a point during Rebels that he's got nothing again. Like he builds up this whole empire and then he doesn't have it and we don't know what happened. Also, it would be interesting if he figures out who Darth Vader really is and maybe goes try to redeem him or to kill him to finish him off.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see that element of it.
Okay, sure.
I don't think I like the idea of him being in the desert and being like, I mean, it's fun doing flips, but no one can see me do it.
Exactly.
So maybe take him off world for a little bit.
Maybe like an ice planet.
Yeah.
Or a more temperate planet.
Or a planet with trampolines.
Or that gambling planet.
Yeah. I don't like that planet.
No. It's yuck. Just a planet where everyone's nice to each other.
Yeah.
No, that planet's been destroyed.
Yeah, they blew it up. Anyway, people got ideas of what they would like to see.
What planet would you like Obi Wan Kenobi to go to?
And do a flip.
There's a prize for the best planet.
There is.
It's that you've picked the best planet.
Yeah, what do you want to see him do? Who do you want to see him fight? What kind of beard do you want? How much grey should they put in his hair? That's up to you.
Yeah. Should they rapidly age him over the course of like 7 episodes?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Should it be Ewan McGregor at the start and by the end he's just Alec Guinness?
It's a Forever Young situation. The movie Forever Young where Mel Gibson ages rapidly. Forever Young.
Yep.
Anyway, we have videos every Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday. We recently did an episode on D23. All the big reveals, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, including the Mandalorian trailer, including the footage from The Last Skywalker.
And some Marvel stuff.
And some Marvel stuff. But who cares, am I right, Mason?
Exactly. Nobody's watching those Marvel movies.
No. And there's also trailer breakdowns. I've also got one of The Mandalorian recently. People want to check that out for that series that's also happening. I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Swing on by.
Flip on by.
Flip on by. Thank you. The end of the video.
Grab that, Jimmy, guys. We'll see you next week.